Now we're ready for the big news. Why everybody is here. The Grand Pacific. Okay, so what's the deal with the Grand Pacific? This is such a fun thing to talk about. The Grand Pacific is the newest shape and the newest sound that you've ever heard from Taylor. It's a sound that we have never really had, that Taylor has never really had. And the basis of it is this. Andy is quite the musician. I love playing. Whenever I get a chance to play with him, I love it. I'm just trying to play chords and I'm watching what he's doing. Tremendous mandolin player, guitarist, country, bluegrass, it doesn't matter. He can really play it all. And when you listen, if I tell you you get your dual turntable with your Shure M91ED and you drop it on the vinyl and it goes into your Kenwood 6160 and out of your Dynaco A25 speakers that were made in Denmark, who knows what I'm talking about? Yeah. I just described to you my stereo that I had in high school that I still listen to in my office, okay? There ain't nothing that sounds like that. Nothing. And you drop that needle on some old 60s bluegrass, country. Does anybody in this room have the Will the Circle Be Unbroken album? Okay. This is the kind of thing that Andy was listening to as a kid and even to today. And you drop the needle and you hear things like... Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let me tell you a story. When those albums were recorded, and you heard things like this. There's some tears flowing, I know. When you heard things like that, when you dropped the needle, how old were those guitars? Oh, I never thought about that. Those guitars were new. They weren't 55-year-old vintage guitars. Gee, I wonder if they used Elixir strings. No, they probably used Labellas or maybe Martin, maybe Black Diamond. Okay. And what mic did they use? And what kind of mic cable was used from that microphone? And how long was it? And what was the console that they used that took that signal into Mylar tape, maybe running at, if they were lucky, 30 inches per second, but probably 15. You know what I want, Rich? I want a guitar that sounds just like that. Well, it sounds just like what? I've got a 55-year-old Martin, and I want it to sound like that. Well, now let's come to present day. Because Andy is so well known in the musical instrument community, he has actually gotten his hands on those guitars, those actual guitars. He's repaired them, he's looked at them, he's, done everything, and he's got a great ear. And he went, you know what? This guitar does not sound like it did on that record. Right? I mean, like Joan Rivers, can we talk? Grand Pacific sounds like the record. Okay. Well, let's go further. Sometimes you play some of those old guitars, and they're fun. We're not taking anything away from how cool those guitars are. But let's talk about musicality, fundamental tones, and fundamental notes, and how everything really, really works. Because a lot of things that come out of the instruments aren't musical. How dare you say that? Listen to that thump that comes out, that poof of air, that smack that hits you. Wow, listen to that. You think that you can record that? Have you ever tried to put a microphone? Have you ever seen a video of someone singing in a studio, and they have a microphone, and they're singing, and what's in front of the mic? A pop filter. It's a thing that sits right here. You know what it does? It stops the pop. Okay, puff of air, puff of air. You can't record that. So what's your engineer going to do, or your sound guy that's out front? He's going to suck all your low end out, and he's going to, probably screw around with the upper end, and so everything that you're striving for is all being taken out. What we want is we want the guitar to sound like a dreadnought guitar should sound. Warm, inviting, and we want the notes to blend together. What the heck are you talking about now? See, we're going down further and further into the rabbit hole, right? So, what's he talking about? I have two guitars here. I have the brand new 317 Grand Pacific. This is a Sapele back and side, solid spruce top, new guitar, slope shoulder. You can call it a slope shoulder dread or a soft shoulder dread, whatever you want. And then I have right here a 314 CE, the number 3 most popular guitar in the country that sells for over $500, right here. This guitar is so much fun, it should be in everybody's collection.
I can help with that.
And Paul can help with that. Sapele back and sides, okay? Sapele back and sides. So everything is basically really the same. So how do they sound different? Okay? So here we go. If I play... Got that? And if I go... I do know more than 4 songs. But if we don't do it this way, you're not going to hear the difference, okay? So bear with me. Listen to how the notes blend in the chord. What just happened? Okay, I'm just going to tell you because we're running a little. Is everybody doing okay? Because this is a little bit longer than normal, but I mean, I got you. Okay. So this is the Grand Auditorium. Totally different sound, which is why you need one in every collection. And Paul can help you with that. So what's the difference here? Well, the waist is in a different spot. I mean, there's a lot of things that are different. Again, we're not going down the rabbit hole too much here. But when you play a chord on this guitar, what's different is you can actually pick out the notes. Think about a piano and an organ. Got it? Okay. So on a piano, you can a lot of times hear the overtones of each individual note when you play a chord. But on an organ, it all blends together. And that's a Grand Pacific. That's why the Grand Pacific is such an important guitar to have if you're laying down a bed of music, if you're laying down a nice rhythm. You know, it's a traditional, it's a new take on a traditional guitar, okay? It's a brand new tone that we've never had. And I'm telling you, you have to, when you play it, you're going to love it. But when you play it, you have to think about what it is you listen for. Is Taylor trying to build a guitar with a whoosh of air? No, because it's not musical. But these are musical. So now I'm going to walk you through the 3 different versions, if that's okay. We all okay? All right. Now you already heard, you already heard me playing on the 317, which was the Sapele and Spruce. This guitar here is the 500 series. The 500 series instrument is a Mahogany. So it's a Mahogany back and sides, and this spruce top is torrified. And all that means is that we went to the Betty Crocker School of learning how to cook stuff, and we've baked this top. And the reason that we've done that, the reason that we've baked it, is because we're trying to get it stable. So we're taking the humidity out, and then we're putting the humidity back in, and we're taking the humidity out, and we're crystallizing this. And what's ending up happening is that by getting that top stable and crystallizing everything, I don't want to sit here and tell you, this sounds like a 12-year-old guitar. No, it does sound like it's more broken in. It does sound like it's older than brand new. But it really stabilizes the instrument, okay? This is also, these are called Builder's Editions models. The Builder's Editions model are things that Andy would just love to have in the guitar that he would like to play with if he was playing out. The edges here are rounded. They're not squared off. We already talked about the torrefied top. He even went to the point of ever so slightly redoing the bridge here so it has rounded edges. So everything is becoming, you know, this warm and cozy and stuff, softness. On the neck, we've done something really interesting where we're calling it a compound carve neck. Some people know they know the term compound radius, okay? But this is a compound carve. So it starts out here with a really slight V-neck, and it comes up into more of a rounded D, okay? That jet just flew over me. What the heck are you talking about? All right, let's talk about the jet. If I hold my hand here, and I hold my hand here, because I'm playing the guitar, you see how different my hand is? I'm grabbing the guitar, the neck at a different spot, in a different way. If I'm playing chords like here, and I'm playing chords here, I'm grabbing the guitar differently. So what it does is it makes it so smooth and so nice. And if I'm doing solo work, everything works, okay, by having that compound carve. We even did something kind of fun back here where he rounded this even, which I think is cool. The other one comes to a point, and we moved the strap pin to here instead of back here because we want you to be able to get up here and get everything. Everything's nice and rounded, you know. It's just an amazing instrument. So I'm going to play you a little bit of something on the Mahogany. Is it coming through? So the Mahogany, if you didn't hear it, has a really beautiful warmth, you know, and it's a very inviting guitar. It's very pleasing to listen to. You know, back in a previous life, I did some work for the Bose Corporation. I was with an audio video company based out of Omaha in Des Moines, and my job was to sell speakers to consumers. And what I learned there was something that's really interesting. And what I learned was that females hear different than males. Now, I'm not talking about words. I'm talking about frequency response. And all the females are going, yeah, and males don't hear what I'm talking.
Even more so after you say I do.
Yeah, there you go. Wow. Really? Okay. When did I lose control of the crowd? Okay. Okay, so where I'm going with all of this is that it was really funny because you put on the Journey album, you drop the needle on the Journey, and you'd crank the volume of certain speakers, and the guys are like, yeah, listen to that, and the girlfriends or the wives are like, sounds horrible to them because they hear a frequency response that's way up here, and we don't. So the guys, because of that push in that high efficiency speaker, and then you put on a Bose, and I'm not trying to sell Bose, I'm just trying to, follow me on where I'm going with this. Okay, I have 3 surround sound systems in my house. Yes, they're all Bose, but beside the point. You put it on there, and there isn't that rush of high end. It's very musical. And you go, listen to that cymbal. Listen to that note of that guitar. Listen to this. It doesn't have that brightness. I'm looking at females. It doesn't have, it sounds warm, right? Okay, so now from that, if we go to Rosewood, which is the 700 series guitar, what's going to happen here is that it's not going to have that mid-rangey thing. It's going to have a little bit more low end, but it's going to have an extenuated high end. See, it's got that brightness there. Actually, it's not a brightness, it's a transparency, and there's a huge difference. Somebody says, well, your Taylor guitar sounds bright. No, it doesn't. It sounds very transparent. You can hear every note exactly the way you're supposed to hear it. And when I play, and it plays good with others. You get some guy jamming on a Rosewood guitar, and you jump on with your guitar. Funny thing, I can hear the Taylor. It doesn't blend. It says, here's this guitar, here's this guitar. Right? I'm not talking Greek here, am I? Okay. So here is the, if I were to play here on this guy, and I'll use Okay, so it had that big push of power on the low end, but the upper end notes were very clear and very distinct. And that's a Rosewood guitar. Most people are drawn to Rosewood if they're a singer-songwriter. They want to sing because their voice is the mid-range. And Rosewood has a little bit of a dip in there. So, you're So it's very percussive, but the bass comes out. Okay, so that's kind of what Rosewood will do. So we have the guitars in 3 versions: Rosewood, Mahogany, and those are both builders editions. And then we have the 317 that is not a builder's edition, and it's just the most unbelievable dread that you've played. So that's the show, folks. I ran.